Hey YouTube, JGreen302. Bugout or Bugin? I have been really busy. I'm just now getting caught up. Haven't been able to put out many videos, but a couple of people have gotten me going again. And I have been commenting on other thoughts and things, but back to my program. Bugin or Bugout? What do we keep seeing is that discussion. And I've watched many of these dudes. Watch how fast I can bug out. And he hits a stopwatch and he says, click. And he gets all ready and he gets on his bag and he's like, click. Look how fast I'm ready to roll. Okay. Bugin. And you've got your massive amounts of supplies, all your guns, blah, 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 blah. A lot of emphasis on Bugout. Pop quiz. Questions. What would the event be that you would have to bug out in under 60 seconds? I'm thinking maybe the nuclear power plant alert just went off and it's going into reactor shutdown, or and you're real close and it's time to get the fuck out of Dodge. Outside of that, I can't think of anything. If a big, huge hurricane's coming your way, you still got a couple hours. It's kind of hard to hide those. Tornado alerts. You really grabbing your bug out bag and hauling ass on a tornado? I don't know. Economic collapse. 60 seconds. You mean that extra minute might make all the difference in the world? I'm not buying it. Last I checked, the military working on a countrywide scale. No. So all this emphasis on a bug out bag. I mean, I get the point, but the speed with which you get out, no, I don't buy into it. I think that by the time you take in some data, process it, figure out what's going on, you've already lost your minute. So I think there's time. Needless to say, bugging in, massive amounts of supplies. But I am a stranger in a strange land, and I keep finding different ways to look at things. So, what the hell is this dude talking about now? Stick with me, folks. Bug in or bug out? What about a halfway point? What about something in between? How about an RV? The reason I bring it up is I went and bought one. I bought a 24-foot RV, towable. I've made 3 videos on it. I'm not willing to post any of them because, quite frankly, I feel stupid. Hi guys, take a look. This is an RV. Look, it's got a door and it's got windows and it's got a toilet and it's got a bed. You know what the fucking RV looks like. You understand an RV. There's nothing new I can tell you about it. Maybe. How about this? So I got this RV last week. And me being me, I'm in the process of working on it. Matter of fact, I've been working on it every day. Every night I go over and I find more stuff to do on it. I've been doing it for about a week. As soon as I get this video done and hit upload, and I'm walking out the door and I'm going to go work on it again. So what's the point of the video? Well, bug in, bug out. I would suggest to each and every one of you that the next time you are near an RV store, or you see the RV, shows where they've got all the RVs and you can walk through them, go into an RV, and I don't care what size, I really don't, and sit down and spend 10 minutes in your own mind without anybody bothering you. Take a good look. Here's what happened with me. I sat down one day. I had just finished caulking, checking over the windows, checking over seals, checking over a lot of things. I had the wind blowing, and I went inside. I shut the door, closed everything up, got all the windows, and I just sat. And I sat there with a pencil and a paper, and I was looking around. And there was 2 points to this. Point one was, with the wind blowing, I wanted to sit in there sealed up, see if I could feel any breeze, detect any insulation problems or gaps where the wind's getting in. To me, that's a big deal. If it's sufficient, that means that the heat will stay in if there's not a leak, if the air conditioning will stay in if there's not a leak. It's just a basic mechanical check. But I had the pen and the paper, and the things that I was thinking about was, well, buddy boy, you've got a new RV, new used RV. How are you going to supply it? And so I was just kind of sitting around thinking, what needs to be in here? 24-foot RV. And I'm sitting there, and I sat there for about 10 minutes, and I just started thinking and looking about everything I could think of, and one thing kept coming back. Holy shit, how do I get water in this thing? How do I get the sewage out if this is in the middle of nowhere? What is my reasonable expectations on how much food I could pack in this thing? How much fresh water could I pack into it? I'm probably going to need some kind of water filtration. What if I take this out in the middle of the woods? If I collect rainwater, or if I find a stream, or if I find a pond? If I want to stock this thing and make this thing last for as long as I could possibly need it, I would want to filter water. I'd want to get the sewage away from the thing. And then I started thinking, how many clothes, how many guns, how much ammo, how much food, how much of everything? If you got a kitchen, you're going to need kitchen utensils. You're going to need plates. You're going to need cups. How am I going to make coffee? Where's the trash can? I don't have a trash can. How am I going to do dishes and not eat up a lot of water? What about winter clothes? What about summer clothes? What about jackets? What about camouflage stuff? What about hunting gear? What about fishing gear? What about tackle? What about gear? What about sleeping stuff? How much underwear, socks, and clothes? Because I have no laundry facilities. And I started going through this long laundry list of, would this be good for a week? Would it be good for 2 weeks? Would it be good for a month? And two things came up. Holy shit, this thing ain't going to hold a lot. And holy shit, it still beats a freaking tent. And that middle ground gave me perspective on both a bug-out bag and about bugging in, about moving from a central location to somewhere else. Very eye-opening. The halfway mark, an RV. You got a bed, you got a table, you got a toilet, you got a shitter. You have storage. You're out of the weather. You're out of the wind. You're out of a lot of things. If you run out of propane, you can still do primitive cooking. You can use an alcohol stove. You can use, a campfire. You can do everything you can do with a tent with an RV, even if all your supplies run out. You just get more comfort, more storage, more stuff out of the way. You don't have the mobility. But it is the halfway point. And I realized just how limited a bug-out bag is. If you bug out and it lasts longer than 3 days, you're fucked. You might be alive, but you're fucked. If you bug in and you got all your supplies, but you get overwhelmed, you're fucked. But if you go the middle route, you have mobility. You can put yourself where you need to be. You can take that RV and you can slam it into an old abandoned building. You can amplify your situation, but you still have a limited amount of supplies. And that was the biggest thing that struck me when I looked at sitting in that RV and just going, the hell can I do with this? How much? I thought I'd mention that. At some point I'll do a video about the RV, but for right now the conceptual point is mobility, fluid. If things go bad, it's a secondary point. It's not meant to be a full-time place. It's meant to be a secondary place, but it's a secondary place that beats the hell out of a damn tent. Thought I'd mention that. Thanks for listening.